Hi, most welcome to Dr. Acharya Academy. Today, I'll discuss on the periodicity of properties of elements in respect of segregating the elements in metals, nonmetals, and metalloids. This topic has been taken from the NCERT Chemistry Class 11 books. This is the part 1, unit number 3. Today's class number is 054. Previously, I discussed about the SP, D and F block elements and their classification, and another broad classification is there in respect of metals, nonmetals and metalloids. So that metal, nonmetal and metalloids, how do we segregate this considering the periodic tables of elements, that I am going to discuss now. This is the periodic table, and the elements can be divided into metals, nonmetals. Metals comprise more than 78% of all known elements, and this appears on the left side. This is the left side of the periodic table. So these all are metals, and you can see the caption of this figure, that color also mentioned there. So these all are metals. These are metals. So color combination is there. You see metals, the color combination is this, and for non-metals color combination is this, and metalloids color combination is different. Metals are usually solids at room temperature. Mercury obviously is an exception, and gallium and cesium also have very low melting points. Metals usually have high melting and boiling points, and they are good conductors of heat and electricity. They can be flattened into thin sheets by hammering, and they can be drawn into wires. Now we consider about the non-metals. Non-metals are located at the top right hand side of the periodic table. This is the top right hand side of the periodic table, and this you know that this group number 18 and group number 17, these all are classified as the non-metals. In fact, in a horizontal row, that means if you consider from group 1, group 2, group 3 in this way, if you consider, then the property of the elements change from the metallic on the left to the non-metallic on the right. That means extreme left side is the group 1 in the same row, and right side if you go group 2. So in this way if you go, then metallic character will decrease along the row from left to right. Non-metals are usually solids or gases at room temperature with low melting and boiling points. Non-metals means it is always like gas. It is not like that. Sometimes it may be solids also, but the characters of the non-metal is at room temperature, it may be solids or gas, and these non-metals elements will have the low melting and boiling points. Obviously, boron and carbon are exceptions. they are poor conductors of heat and electricity. Metal, I just now discussed that metals is a good conductors of heat and electricity, but for non-metals, it is a poor conductors of heat and electricity. Most non-metallic solids are brittle. You know, carbon is brittle and are neither malleable or ductile. That means non-metallic solids, you can't make it sheet or you can't make it wires. The elements become more metallic as we go down the group. Now we'll consider the group, only group. If you consider group 1, that means lithium, sodium, potassium, rhodium. If you go down along any particular groups, then metallic characters will be increased. The non-metallic character increase as one goes from left to right across the periodic table. As I already mentioned that in the periodic table, in the period from left to right, if you go, then non-metallic character will increase. That means if you consider, suppose period number 2nd, then from lithium group number 1 to group number 2 beryllium, the same period, that non-metallic character will increase. In this case, if you consider lithium is more metallic than beryllium and so on. That means boron has more non-metallic character than beryllium, or otherwise we can tell that beryllium is more metallic character than boron in this way. So now I discussed that along the group and along the period, how metallic character is changing for the elements. The change from metallic to non-metallic character is not abrupt. Slowly it will go. It is not the abrupt. The elements, as for example, silicon. This is the silicon. Germanium. This is the germanium. You can see that these all elements has a different color in this table. So arsenic, antimony, tellurium. This bordering this line and running diagonally, you see that this color, if you consider, then it is the diagonally, these elements are there in periodic tables. Across the period show the properties that are characteristics of both metals and non-metals. That means these all metals diagonally arranged in the periodic table, and you see the different color, deep brown color is in this table. So it has the both metal and non-metal characteristics, and these elements called the semi-metals or metalloids. That means these metals in this table is the semi-metals or metalloids. Now we'll consider one problem exercise. It will be helpful for your exam. Considering the atomic number and position in the periodic table, arrange these following elements. That means silicon, beryllium, magnesium, sodium, phosphorus in the increasing order of metallic character. Now we'll see the table. You can see the table, then you can identify where is the position of these elements, silicon, you see the what is the silicon, silicon is the group. Here you have to see this is a silicon. Then beryllium, this is the beryllium. Then magnesium, obviously the second, this is the magnesium. Sodium, group 1, this is the sodium. And phosphorus. Phosphorus you can see here. So if you consider the metallic and non-metallic character along period and group, then you will find the answer, that means the order of increasing metallic characters mentioned in this problem. So solution, the metallic character increases down the group and decreases along the periods as we move from left to right, and hence the order of increasing the metallic character. Phosphorus has least metallic character and sodium has most metallic character with it. Obviously sodium is the group 1 and group 2 belongs to the magnesium. So in respect of metallic character it will come second. And then beryllium also position we have seen in the periodic table, so next position, and after that it is silicon, and least metallic character will be with phosphorus. So in this way, if it has been given some elements to arrange in respect of metallic character or non-metallic character, then we have to consider that metallic character increases down the group and decreases along a period as we move from left to right. These two factors we have to consider, and we have to check the periodic table, and accordingly we will get the answer like this. I also have the podcast in the name of Dr. Acharya Academy for honors and degree chemistry level education. You can go through this, get more knowledge about the chemistry for your exam, for your competitive exam. Thank you so much for watching this class.